Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's poppin' and why? You already know it's your host, Mr. K Gav, in the building with a brand new episode of Mr. K Gav on air. Available on everything Apple, Androids, and Windows. Make sure you get it now. Like, subscribe, share. Trying to keep you up on the biggest stories, the biggest news right now. I just wanted to do an update on the $600 stimulus checks that were just approved yesterday. The agreement was approved yesterday. Democrats and Republicans have come to an agreement for a $600 stimulus check to go out to all the people. Now, basically, the last time there was a stimulus package, everybody received $1,200 checks and $500 for dependents. Now, I believe it's $600 across the board. So you'll get your $600, and then if, let's say, you have one dependent, you'll get $600, and that'll be $1,200. Or let's say you have two kids, and it'll be so on and so forth. Amounts of $600. Okay, now I know that's not a big deal for a lot of people. I know a lot of people is like $600. Like, that's not really going to go too far. That's not going to do anything. But for someone who might not have food or might be low on a bill or two or something like that, I think it's definitely going to help a lot of people, especially around the holidays, or especially around Christmas. And, you know, you have people that have really been affected by this pandemic, this crisis. And it's just so sad. It's just so sad that, you know, people are not getting the help that they need. I don't know why they couldn't just pass a $1,200 check, you know, on its own. Just on its own. Just, you know, the people need money. Let's send them some money. I don't understand why it's such a issue. I don't get it. Nobody's gonna save that money. Nobody's going to hold on to that money. That money is going to be spent immediately. I don't feel anybody will hold on to that money. And it doesn't matter what it is. Whether you buy a brand new PlayStation with it. You spent that money. That money went back into the economy. That money went back into, you know, they say the vortex or the way the money goes is like every dollar goes 5 times. You know, the best way I could think about it, or the best way I could explain it to people is, let's say you have the bodega, right? You have the bodega. Now, you might spend your money at the bodega, you know, but the guy at the bodega spends money with the milk guy. The milk guy comes, he spends money with the milk guy. The chips guy comes, he spends money with the chips guy. The ice cream man comes, he spends money with the ice cream man. So that money that you spend at the bodega, he's spending it with these different vendors. So the money gets spreaded along. But if there ain't no money, if there's no people spending the money, it can't get spread because there's no money to spread. So basically, you know, you have to have money flowed into the economy, and then that could be spread along. That's why they said the economy didn't just crumble because everybody had got a stimulus check. People had got unemployment. And right now, people need it more than ever. Now, I know this is not in the title, but $300 unemployment have been approved as well. In this agreement, it will be $300 for unemployment. And I just want to This is for everybody, man. This one time for y'all, man. One time for y'all. Holding it down. Holding it down during this time. Going through this. It's crazy. It's crazy that, you know, people have not been able to get any kind of assistance, any kind of help. The last time they got any unemployment or it was so long ago. It was so long ago. You know, so I definitely want to shout out everybody. You know, I haven't done a show in a while. You know, Pops was in the hospital. You know, I had to deal with a whole bunch of situations. I was in and out the hospital with him. Then bringing him back from the hospital. Then getting him situated in the crib and everything. It's just been so much. So I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. But today, this story was so big. The agreement for $600 stimulus checks have been agreed on. $600 checks have been agreed on for the stimulus, and it should be signed today. It should be signed. Now, the agreement was just a negotiation, what they agreed on yesterday. Today, they're going to sign it. So that means it'll be signed into law, but it still has to be voted on again, and the president has to sign it. So that's why I told people, if you listen to my other show, NY Certified, you know, the #1 podcast in and around New York. Make sure you get that podcast. It's on Apple, it's on Google, it's on Spotify, it's on everything. So make sure you check it out. Now, $600, like I said, is not a lot. It's not gonna change the world, but for a lot of people, it'll help. You know, let's say you and your wife is in the crib. You know, that's an extra $1,200. You know what I mean? Let's say it's you, your wife, and your daughter, or you, your wife, and your son. You know, that's an extra $1,800. You know, so I know it's gonna help people. I know it's gonna help people. It's not gonna be as much as they might want it to be. They might not want it as it might not be as much as people need it to be. But you know, it's something better than nothing. You know. At this point, you know, Pelosi was talking about, you know, all or nothing, and it was like we was left with nothing. So, you know, something right now before the new year is just we need to take whatever we can. So $600 will be for everyone. Everyone who got a $1,200 check before will receive a $600 stimulus payment. Now, when it comes to unemployment, they said you get in $300. I think they trying to do it for like 11 weeks. I heard somebody reported it. So let's just say $300 for 11 weeks. $300 for 11 weeks. You know, that's not bad. You know, for people. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, $300, that's not a lot of money." Well, think about it like this. If you had somebody that was getting $100 a week, now they're going to be getting $400 a week. That's a big difference for a lot of people. You know, if you was getting $200 a week and now you getting $500 a week, you know, it's a big difference. That's just a big difference. So for a lot of people, it's going to help. It's going to help. You know, unemployment, you know, people think it's so easy. You know what I mean? In New York City, all the restaurants closed back down. You know, schools was closing back down. You know, everything was closing back down. I tell people the reason why they closing is because they not testing people. They not testing people. They just letting people go in all willy-nilly. Then when people get sick, they're like, oh, well, yeah, because you wasn't testing nobody. And you didn't know who was sick or who wasn't. And you just had people coming in. You know, when I even went to the hospital to see my father, you know, they had like a little system where you had to fill out a questionnaire, then you had to take your temperature, then, you know, it was a whole process. You know, I'm not sure if they even doing anything like that in the schools, but, you know, I would think in a hospital, you know, they taking extra precautions, you know, and I just think that, you know, when you have a school or something like that, you know, and you're not doing no testing, it's probably going to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So, they getting all these new vaccines out. All these politicians and all these people is wearing taking off their masks because they got their vaccines and all that. But, just because you got the flu vaccine don't mean you're not going to get the flu, or it's like, you're not indestructible just because you get a vaccine. You know what I mean? So, at the end of the day, y'all got to be real careful with what y'all just taking. You know what I mean? This vaccine is just coming out now. And I'm not sure if y'all know, but there's always been like recalls, whether it be with cars or medicine or this or that. Sometimes it be 5 years later. Sometimes it be 5 years later, 10 years later. Oh, did you take this medicine from insert company here? And then you all messed up. Or did you die from this? Or this caused cancer? Or this, there's so many things that can happen. You got to be real careful with what you take. And especially from these people, you don't really know what's going to happen. You really don't. You really don't know what's going to happen with these people. So be very careful. I know everybody wants to take these vaccines. They want to do these things. But me personally, I will not be taking no vaccine right now. I will see how it plays out. And then after that, we will see. I have an elderly father. So, gotta be real careful with certain things. You already know, I'm your host, Mr. Cake Ave. Brand new episode of Mr. Cake Ave on air. I wanted to talk about the brand new $600 stimulus that had been agreed upon yesterday and will be signed today. Hopefully, they could vote on it and the president could sign it and this money could get out to the people as soon as possible. But it will not be $1,200. It will be $600. And for people who are on unemployment, you have been approved for an extra $300 a week. So nobody's talking about retroactive. Nobody's talking about bread. Nobody's talking about nothing. Pelosi was a full-blown liar. All or nothing. We got nothing. Retroactive. We got nothing. So it is what it is at this point. They passed this bill. They made this agreement. It should be signed today and it should be voted on soon. So, keep your eye out for that little $600 that's coming through. If you got kids, maybe $1,200, $1,800. Family of four, $2,400. I mean, it's something, man. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, everything, Hanukkah, everything to everybody. We made it. I know it was hard. 2020 was the year that took everybody out. Everybody. So I definitely am blessed to be here. Blessed to have my father. Blessed to be able to do my shows. Make sure you check out my other show, NY Certified. Yeah, man, it's been crazy this year, man. It's been crazy. So prayers and condolences out to everybody. Be safe. Hug your loved ones. Kiss your loved ones. You don't know what time it is. If you don't know, it's getting crazy out here. So love your family. And, don't take people for granted, man. Happy 2021. 2021. Happy 2021 to people. Definitely be safe. Wear your mask up, and try not to take any risks that you really don't need to take. All right? You already know. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.